Another week, another game. This week I decided to go back into a racing game with Forza 5. Now you may be asking why I'm doing this to myself. I mean, I've made it pretty clear before that I don't really like racing games, that the monotony of it is too much for me, and I'm not the biggest car person. I'm here to tell you that all those things are still absolutely true, but I still love them. Forza is the staple for racing on an Xbox. I mean, Sony and PlayStation have the Gran Turismo series, and Microsoft and Xbox have Forza, so it's kind of their battle there. The thing with it, though, is that, at least to me, it starts to feel like sports games. I mean, you have the same tracks, and relatively the same tournaments to race in each game. The only slight difference, like sports games, are the new players, cars, that come out between game installments. They have to put in different career modes and features to really separate it from the previous games. Sure, the graphics look pretty, but they've always looked pretty. That's always been something that's amazing. They're always breathtaking, and the simulation for the damage and the actual racing that you do is really, really nice and on par. It makes it feel very real and separates it from other sort of games that have driving in them. And this one, for example, Forza 5, I do believe is the first one to have the Drivatar feature. Now, what that means is that instead of basic AI opponents that you're racing around the track, it uses different people who've played the game before and analyzes how they race and builds an AI based on that to race in each race. They can even earn you credits for when they're appearing in someone else's race because your person went there. So it's a really cool feature that definitely makes it so it's more realistic. It brings those bragging rights that a number of times I'd race and I'd see one of my friends' names up there and I'd be like, suck it, I'm beating you, even though it was on easy and so I should have been beating them. But it kind of draws you into it more, which is really nice. It puts yourself more in the driver's seat and kind of makes it seem more realistic. So it's a nice change, but it wasn't enough to completely swing me into getting these sports or racing games. I say that, when one of the games that's going to be free on Games for Gold in a month about is a Forza game, so that I'm really excited for. But that's, again, still love them even though they drive me crazy. It's fun to race, it's fun to customize, and it's just not for me in general. I'm not the person who's going to go and put the hours upon hours upon hours into this game to go and perfect it. I've tried it before with Forza 3, and I think it may be why, because I kind of went crazy from that, so it's just not going to be able to cut it for me. But for other people who love racing games, absolutely, I definitely suggest it. But that's all I have for me this week, and it's time for the hint for next week. Now, this plant isn't so organic anymore. See you next week.